Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Kind of a weird episode today. Not a lot of cards moving up in value, but the ones that are moving up quite significantly. And that is because there's a lot of attention right now on Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth, as well as Commander Masters. A lot of players' resources right now are going into sealed product, or they're just waiting for the singles to be out. So we are going to do something a little different today. I did put the cards going down in value, at least $2 in the video as well. So we're going to look at all cards going down at least $2 and up at least $2 today. Before we get into all the details though, just a couple things. First off, I want to say thank you to 4 viewers who gave Super Thanks tips prior to our time off. Alpal8319, Panda Severon, Todd Branch, and Whip. Thank you all for the Super Thanks tips. Couldn't do this without viewers like yourself. It helps the channel so much. And one other reminder, remember, if you go to FlipsideGaming.com, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can pre-order Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth products there. You can also pre-order Commander Masters products too. I'll leave links down below so you can see where the products are on their page, but they have a lot of other things on their website too. Remember, if your order's over $100 or it consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Also, whenever you use the Heroes promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated. So thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's begin with the standard legal spotlight. Only one card to discuss today. It is one moving down, Phyrexian Obliterator. This is down 281 this week to 1322, and this is the one for Masters 25. So it's a solid commander card, but it has been soft since the reprinting in Phyrexia All Be One. That printing did introduce a ton of new copies into the marketplace. And just like that, we're at the Pioneer Legal Spotlight, looking at the Pioneer Legal cards moving the most this week. Only one of these cards is moving up if you are going down, but you don't want to miss the one moving up. First, we have the Great Henge from Throne of Eldraine. This is down 215 to 57.95. So this is another solid commander card, but it is getting reprinted in the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth Realms and Relics subset. One thing to note, this subset will not make cards legal in Modern if they were not already legal there. But there are some spicy reprints of well-known cards that are getting a Lord of the Rings treatment, including this one. Realms and Relics cards will be found in collector boosters and non-foil, and in draft sets and collector booster displays as traditional surge foil box toppers. Next we have Finale of Devastation, down 228 this week to 43.49. This is yet to be reprinted, which means it is due for a reprint soon probably, but the reason it's soft right now is because it is seeing less play than it used to. It is still in a number of commander decks, but in Modern, you only see this in Asmodee Food and Selesnya Elves. Both of those decks are not seeing all that much play right now in the meta. Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx. This is the copy from the list. It goes down 312 this week to 49.95. This is still a big commander and pioneer card, but the copy from the list, which is harder to find in high grade compared to the Theros copy, tends to get inflated. This week it is retracting some, getting a little closer to the price point of the Theros copy. And the last card moving down in this section is Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, the Planar Chaos copy. It goes down $3.97 to $44.52. So sure, you see this in Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, and Commander. This card gets a ton of play, but this original copy is moving down now because we know it's being reprinted in the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth Realms and Relics subset. Alright, here's one of the big spikes this week, Metamorphic Alteration of $4.49 to $8.01. Traditionally, this has only seen a little commander play. Sometimes it would appear in Zur the Enchanter, for example. But now there is a new Pioneer combo deck using this along with a card from Phyrexia All Be One. The card is Archfiend of the Dross, and basically the idea is you play Archfiend, then you use Metamorphic Alteration to turn one of your opponent's creatures into Archfiend of the Dross without any oil counters on it. On their upkeep, they would then lose the game if they don't have a way to get rid of their newfound Archfiend. The deck is performing well right now, but we'll have to see if it can endure as players and their sideboards are more prepared for it. By the way, in case you were wondering, foils of Metamorphic Alteration are on the move too. Let's take a look. The Core Set 2019 foils going up $25.82 this week to $26.64. The pre-release foils up $24.02 to $25. Welcome to the Modern Legal Spotlight. A couple cards moving up, a number moving down. Let's just jump right into it. Flooded Strand, the original Onslaught copy is down 203 to $84.99. So fetch lands see a ton of play in Modern, Legacy, Vintage, and Commander, but a couple of these original copies are cold this week. These Onslaught Fetchlands were reprinted in Khans of Tarkir, but that was their last non-premium printing, leading some to believe that they could show up in a product sooner than later, perhaps even Commander Masters. Kozilek Butcher of Truth, the Rise of the Eldrazi copy is down 210 this week to 33.12. Good Commander and modern card, but it has been soft ever since it was reprinted in Double Masters 2022. And who knows, it might get another printing in the upcoming Eldrazi Unbound Commander Masters Commander deck. Imp's Mischief is next. This is down 217 to 26.78. This is retracting after some recent increases, but it does see some Commander play in various builds. Chalice of the Void, the Modern Masters copy down 201 this week to 54.21. The Masters 25 copy down 219 to 55.69. Still a big card in Modern, Legacy, and Vintage, but the last printing of this was in Time Spiral Remastered. That leaves some wondering if we're going to see it again soon. Cavern of Souls, this is the Modern Masters 2017 copy. It goes down 226 this week to 57.99. It gets plenty of play in Modern, Legacy, Vintage, and Commander, but this is also getting a reprint in the Realms and Relics subset in Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. Marrow Gnar from Champions of Kamigawa down $2.49 to $31. This was hot due to a lot of recent Rat Tribal support for Commander, but now the market and Commander players are moving on to other things, and this is cooling off. Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer, the Modern Horizons 2 copy is down $2.40 to $54.97. The March of the Machine Multiverse Legends copy is down $2.50 to $48.98. This new copy from the Multiverse Legends subset is finding its price point, and it's also led to the original copy cooling off. It is still a popular Modern, Vintage, and Commander card though. Skithiryx the Blight Dragon, the Double Masters copy down $2.38 to $22.99. The one from the list is down $3.36 to $26.48. This was also reprinted in the Multiverse Legends subset from March of the Machine, which has caused other copies to cool off as you see here. Still a good Commander card though. Oboro, Palace in the Clouds from Saviors of Kamigawa. This goes down $3.64 this week to $57.01. You see this in Modern Mill, and it gets a little Commander play too, but the reason the card has been expensive for as long as it has been is because it's just simply never been reprinted. Well, not until now anyways. It is in the Realms and Relics subset from Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. Doubling Season. Now this Double Masters copy is down $3.87 this week to $87.65. Another copy is moving up though. We're going to see that in just a moment. So let's talk a little bit about this card and what's happening with it. In general, all Doubling Season copies have been trying to find their price point recently. On one hand, some players think this may be due for another reprint, and since it is a big Commander card, perhaps it shows up in Commander Masters. On the other hand, the card gets a lot of play in the Commander format. It's even gotten more play recently in builds around Calyx Guided by Fate from March of the Machine The Aftermath. It's also used frequently as an upgrade to March of the Machine's Call for Backup Commander deck, and it's in fresh builds around a card from there, Shalai Halar. Plus, you often see this in a Commander build around a card from the main set, Pelucranos Reborn / Pelucranos Engine of Ruin. Additionally, whenever a new set comes out, there are always plenty of cards that play well with Doubling Season, and of course, Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth is no exception. In fact, this could be a good upgrade to a couple of the Commander decks coming out with the product, Food and Fellowship as well as Elven Council. Quickly, let's take a look at the front-facing commanders for those builds. First, you have Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit, and Sam Loyal Attendant. They are partner commanders for the Food and Fellowship Commander deck. And lastly, you have Galadriel, Elven Queen, which is from Elven Council. Here's that other original fetch land I alluded to earlier, Bloodstained Mire from Onslaught. It goes down $3.92 this week to $76.30. And the last card in this section moving down is Gemstone Caverns, the Time Spiral Remastered copy down $4.29 to $60.24. The Time Spiral copy down $4.89 to $60.83. This card has been hot since it gets a ton of Modern and a good amount of Commander play, plus it gets a little Legacy play, but there is a reprint incoming, and that's why it's going down the way it is. This is also found in the Realms and Relics subset from Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. Here's that other copy of Doubling Season I was talking about. This is the one from Modern Masters. It is up $2.68 this week to $91.23. And the last card in this section is Snake Umbra. It is the one from Plane Chase 2012 though. It goes up $3.72 to $7.94. So this version of the card has been very turbulent due to lack of copies for sale online. There's just not many copies in high grade out there currently, and the ones that are out there do have some high asking prices at times, which does lead to artificial inflation like this. Other non-foil copies of this card can be found for under $1 easily. But when it comes to the gameplay, sure, it has been seeing more Commander play. It's a good upgrade to Call for Backup, also found in fresh builds around Shalai and Halar, and it's in Commander decks around a March of the Machine, the Aftermath card too, Danitha Nubenalia's Light. And that takes us to our salute to all Eternal formats, but mostly Commander, the Eternal Spotlight. So obviously, not all cards in this section will be legal in all Eternal formats, but none of these cards are legal in Standard, Pioneer, or Modern. First, the cards going down again. Force of Will from Eternal Masters is down $2.01 to $74.03. This is a staple in Legacy, Vintage, and Commander, but it was reprinted recently in Dominaria Remastered. And They Shall Know No Fear, down $2.14 this week to $7.50. This is from the Warhammer 40k Forces of the Imperium Commander deck. The card has been in many Commander tribal builds since it came out, but it got a push recently as many players tried to pick it up as an upgrade to another March of the Machine Commander deck, Cavalry Charge. It's also used in fresh builds around the front-facing Commander from there, Sidar Jabari of Zalfir. And it's in some Gishath Sons Avatar builds too in Commander, and those have been popular due to some recent Dinosaur Tribal support. Now though, the card is cooling off some as players and speculators begin to move on to some other things. Urza's Incubator. The original Urza's Destiny copy goes down $2.27 to $28. Here's another good tribal commander card that is used in the same places as the previous card, as well as other builds, but this one was recently reprinted in Dominaria Remastered. Volrath Stronghold down $2.40 this week to $80.84. This is the first reserve list card moving down today, but not the last by far. Overall, reserve list cards have been softer recently. Even though this is a good card in a number of Commander decks, it is still sliding down slightly this week. Ancient Tomb, the Ultimate Masters copy is down $2.30 to $74.78. The one from the list is down $2.43 to $75. It is a big Legacy, Vintage, and Commander card that has been hot recently, but it is another card getting a reprint in the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth Realms and Relics subset. Chrome Mox from Mirrodin, the original, goes down $2.54 this week to $77.89. This is also a good Legacy, Vintage, and Commander card, but it was reprinted recently in the Secret Lair 30th Anniversary Countdown Kit. Eladamri, Lord of Leaves, down $2.62 this week to $62.74. Here's another reserve list card moving down slightly. It gets a little Commander play, but this is retracting after some recent increases. Talarian Academy down $2.80 this week to $116.76. A number of these Urza Saga legendary lands are moving down. You're going to see a couple more in a few minutes. This one gets vintage play, but remember, it is banned in Commander. Fierce Guardianship is down $2.86 this week to $60.02. This cycle is highly played in Commander, but this and another card from it are moving down this week. You're going to see that other card in a few moments. Could the cycle see a reprint in Commander Masters? Some think that it will. Norn's Choirmaster down $3 to $8.90. This is from the Phyrexia All-Be-One Corrupting Influence Commander deck. It did get hot recently since many were picking it up to upgrade the March of the Machine Commander deck Growing Threat, and it was in fresh builds around the front-facing Commander from there, per Ma's Blade of Oreskos. It's also in Commander builds around Elish Norn / the Argent Etchings from the main set. Now though, it is cooling off some. The Ur-Dragon from Commander 2017. This only comes in foil for now, but it is getting reprinted in Commander Masters. It goes down $3.02 this week to $60.98. When it comes to gameplay though, still the most popular Dragon Tribal Commander, and it's in the 99 of some of those builds too. Deflecting SWAT down $3.18 to $57.21. Like Fierce Guardianship, this sees a lot of play in many Commander builds, but many players and speculators think it could see a reprint in Commander Masters. Mana Echoes, the original Onslaught copy, goes down $3.40 this week to $26.59. Okay, recently some key slivers and some cards that play well with slivers got hot like this one, and the reason for that was because we found out there was a Commander deck coming with Commander Masters called Sliver Swarm. Now, many of those cards that were jumping are cooling off as attention is being turned to Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth and the Commander decks that go along with that. But when it comes to Mana Echoes, it doesn't only see play in Sliver builds, you do see this in other Commander decks as well. Remember too, this card might start to climb again as Commander Masters gets closer, but also you never know, it could be reprinted in the Sliver deck or elsewhere, time will tell. Wheel of Fortune from Revised. It goes down $3.45 this week to $306.50. Not a big percentage decrease here, but I thought it was worth noting because this, along with the revised dual lands, have been very turbulent since the 30th anniversary edition announcement and the release of that product. Maybe this card is starting to stabilize by only moving down a small percentage this week. When it comes to gameplay, it is a solid card for Commander. Mind over Matter, this goes down 371 this week to 6410. This reserve list card does see a little Commander play, but the reason it spiked recently is because of the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth, particularly one card from the set called the One Ring. Perhaps you've heard of it. Mind over Matter and the One Ring make a 2-card combo that lets you draw your deck. Maybe a bit expensive, casting cost-wise for a CEDH combo, but I'm sure you're going to see people attempt this at the Commander table regardless. Now though, since more time has passed since the One Ring's reveal, this card has cooled off from the initial hype. Perhaps this will see a bump again when the product comes out. Here's another one of those Urza Saga legendary lands. It is Gaia's Cradle, down 502 this week to 889.97. So again, small percentage decrease here considering the price of the card, but it is kind of soft. This gets Legacy and Commander play, but after breaking $1,000 not all that long ago, the card has been settling into a price point closer to what you see on the screen. And yet another Urza Saga legendary land, Serra's Sanctum. This is down 562 to 262.51. You see this in Legacy Enchantress and a number of enchantment-heavy Commander decks. Maybe this bumps up again when the Commander Master's Commander deck Enduring Enchantments creeps closer. Next we have Tropical Island from Revised. That is down 661 this week to 544.99. Like I said earlier, these revised dual lands have had a hard time finding their price point since the 30th anniversary edition was announced and then subsequently was released. You are going to see quite a few of these coming up. Now when it comes to gameplay, of course they see play wherever they're legal. Sliver Queen, this is down $824 this week to $329. Much like Mana Echoes, this is retracting after the spikes it saw when Sliver Swarm was announced. It might heat up again as the deck's release gets closer. It is a solid Sliver Commander and in the 99 of Sliver Tribal builds too. Underground Sea from Revised is down $1033 this week to $737.50. Grim Monolith, this is down $1047 to $259.72. This is retracting after some recent increases. It does see play in Legacy, Vintage, and Commander. Lion's Eye Diamond down $11.50 to $500.46. Similar story, this is retracting after some recent increases. Good Legacy and Commander card. Alright, on to the cards moving up in this section. Survival of the Fittest from Exodus is up $280 to $236.25. It is rebounding after some recent losses. It's found in several different Commander builds, and it's getting even more play now in builds around Atali Primal Conqueror / Atali Primal Sickness, Thalia and the Gitrog monster, as well as Yargle and Multani. Those are all cards from March of the Machine. Plus, it's an expensive but good upgrade to Call for Backup, and it's used in fresh builds around Shalai and Halar. Beyond that, this does get a good amount of pre-modern play too, and that format has had a bigger impact on card prices recently. Intuition from Tempest. This is another card that sees play in pre-modern actually. It goes up $345 this week to $177.49. Many times you see this in the updated Legacy Omnitel builds with the Drechsler Grand Unifier. It also appears in a variety of Commander decks, and in case you're wondering, yeah, the Judge foil of this is still pretty expensive. This week it went up $19.30 to $899.29. Savannah from Revised up $623 to $346.39. Bayou from Revised is up $658 to $439.24. Show and Tell, the Urza Saga copy, goes up $754 to $58.45. This is in some Legacy builds that have been pushed recently by a Drechsler Grand Unifier. Sneak and Show, Omnitel, and Sneak and Breach. Sometimes you see this in Reanimator there too. It also gets a little Commander play, but Legacy is the key driver here. But also worth noting, this shows up in some pre-modern builds too. Taiga from Revised up $955 to $389.64. Tundra from Revised up $1343 to $513.23. Badlands from Revised up $1840 to $399.02. And our last card today is a big mover, Arachnogenesis up $42.43 to $72.43. Okay, when a card spikes this fast, be vigilant. Sometimes you can find better deals because it takes a little while for the market to catch up to these spikes. With that being said, this card is yet to be reprinted, and traditionally it has seen a little Commander play. Now though, it is getting a boost thanks to the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. Spiders are a tribe that have gained momentum in Commander in recent years as more tools have showed up to help them, and Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth is bringing some more tools. Let's take a look at some examples. First we have Shelob Dreadweaver from the Hosts of Mordor Commander deck. The other two cards on the screen are from the main set. Shelob's Ambush is in the middle there, but the one I'm really interested in is the one on the right, Shelob Child of Ungoliant. I do see potentially a lot of Commander players building around that card and of course using Arachnogenesis. And beyond this set, I do think Wizards is going to continue to promote the tribe, but at some point you know that Arachnogenesis will be reprinted. We just don't know exactly when or where, or what the price point will be when it happens. Alright, that is going to do it for this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Now, this week I'm going to do something a little bit different. For many years I've done the top 10 hot cards in the middle of the week, but since the market is so weird right now, I thought I'd try something different, something a little more fun, a way to look back at the history of pricing and see, did these prices actually hold? Did the hot cards a year, 2 years, 3 years ago stay hot? Or did they just disappear into obscurity? So check that out in the middle of the week, and if it is popular, maybe we'll change the way we do the video going forward in the middle of the week, considering many cards sometimes repeat from the weekend video. So anyway, until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.